Or has it been a year and a half? Okay.
Set the stage a little bit for Gabe and just do a soil demo opening. And I got two different soils here. They're both loam soils. So Mike, if you want to raise that one up, you can just leave. Just leave that out, Chip. You can only do what I tell you to do. If I don't tell you to do it, then you can't do it. Yep, jumping the gun. Okay, so we each have a loam soil. And oddly enough, I have what I think is probably the little bit better soil. And I have no idea how you ended up with the not as good soil. That's just by accident, Mike, as long as you understand that. Okay, so we got these two loam soils. And do you see a difference in them, Mike, if you take a look? Do you see a difference in the two as far as texture or smoothness or?
Rougher. Looks like it's got more holes in it, and this feels heavier.
Okay, so the one that Mike has, I'm going to explain the management to you a little bit. I know you can't read this, but when you come down at break, you'll be able to. And we'll leave it set here, so throughout the day you can come and take a look at it a little bit later on. But the one side that Mike has got high soil disturbance. Okay, so it's got full tillage. It has low crop diversity. So basically one crop type. So the same crop type is growing year after year. It has no cover crop usage, and it has no livestock integrated. Okay, so just the luck of the draw, Mike. That's the one that you got.
It feels a little bit like adobe brick.
Yeah, well, that's basically what happens is when we take the soil, when we take the pore spaces out, it gets to be, you're kind of making a brick, is essentially what you're doing. Now, on this one, the one that I'm showing you here, it's got low soil disturbance, so it's a no-till system. It has high crop diversity, meaning it has all four crop types, okay? And it has cover crops whenever there's a window, okay? It has cover crop usage, and it has livestock integration. So when we put the, let's just move those containers ahead just a little bit, Mike. There. When we put the PEDs in the water is going to try to come in through the pore spaces. Okay, kind of like we got into this room. We found a pore space here that we can come into. So the water's going to come in and it's going to create an internal pressure. And the pressure is going to try to peel or slake off the soil aggregates and slowly let them peel away to the bottom of the container. That's why we want a container with some vertical height. And what it comes down to at the end of the day, and I think at the end of the conference this will play out pretty well, it comes down to carbon and diversity of carbon. Carbon is the food for the soil biology that builds the aggregates. And if you have enough of the fungi in the plant together that also produce the glues that hold these aggregates together, then they will withstand this internal pressure of the water coming in, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we'll put these containers in. I got two nets here. I kind of have the bottoms cut out of them so that we get some pressure on that PED, okay? So we got the bottoms cut out. These are just cheese ball containers. And if you do like I did, you go to Walmart, take the big hit, eat them all, and then you have your containers, okay? But you got to eat all the cheese balls, which I did. So we're going to go ahead and put these in. First thing that typically happens is you're going to see some bubbles come to the surface because these are aerobic systems. They're not anaerobic systems. It requires oxygen, so they're aerobic systems. When that pressure occurs, it will take these tiny little aggregates that are glued together. That's all this is millions of little aggregates glued together. And if the pressure comes in, and when it becomes too great, it slowly slakes these little particles off. So you want a taller vertical container so you can actually see this. And I'd like you to do this on your own garden, your own farm, your own ranch, whatever. I'd like you to do this. And all you have to do is take some PEDs, clods, off the surface of the soil and put them in a windowsill, pick up ash, something like that, and leave them there for 2-3 weeks, turn them on occasion, make sure they're dry. If they're not dry, you can't do the demonstration. Okay, they have to be dry. And then you can start to take soil from your different fields and just start to compare what you're doing. Take one out of the fence line, take one maybe out of hayland or grassland, take some different ones. And I've made the comment before that, let's just wait a second. We can. Why did you want to take it out?
Well, I'm not gonna see it.
Okay. Okay, and yeah, and you can do that, that's not a problem. So you can see the cloudiness, that's not just soil. That's all of our nutrients, that's all of our soil organic matter, so it's not just soil. If this was out on a field, what would we call this right now? That'd be erosion, exactly. And so you can see when we don't have enough glues to hold our soils together, we have that end result occurring. So consequently, I thought this would be a good opening for Gabe's talk, and we're going to get him up here in a moment. And at the end of the day, it's carbon. And so if we have adequate amounts of diverse carbon, it'll build a very strong soil head. If we don't have enough carbon, we're going to go ahead and the pressure is going to overwhelm it, and it's going to go ahead and slake them off. And we'll give it a little bit of time yet. It's still a little bit of a head left. But I think by the time Gabe gets up here to talk, it's not going to be too much left. So just kind of wanted to set the stage.
So how do we put it back together? Oh.
Sure. Now he wants it back together. That's why we're having Gabe Brown talk, because Gabe Brown is going to explain how to put it back together. So the question to the group is, could I change my management on this soil right here and make it stronger than this one? Yes. Absolutely. I can change the management on this one, and I can make it as strong or stronger than this soil is. And that's what I think Gabe Brown is the master at, and I think that's why we're here to listen to him today. So with that, back to Mike.
Thank you, Jay.